Welcome to July's technique class where we're using the Watercolour Wings stamp set, and in this video I'm going to show you how we made this card. So inside your card pack you have some of the new heavyweight Whisper White cardstock, much sturdier than the standard one, which is perfect for a card base because it wants to stand up beautifully, and it was all nice and firm and solid, so you don't have to have multi-layers. So let me talk you through how we made this card. For the blue of the butterfly I've used Lost Lagoon and Soft Sky, and what you need to do is you need to mount up this stamp and this stamp. So let me just do that for you now. She says, I think somebody's got my butterfly. Bear with me a second. Sorry about that. It might turn up. It might be stuck to something. So in the meantime I'll just use this one. So I'm going to use the foam pads when I'm stamping these. Anything that's got a wide, it's a big stamp with a flat area, not just a detail part but a whole background part. You'll find it may not stamp very well, so you may need to use one of these foam mats or a mouse mat. So what I'm going to do is, you've got my piece of heavy duty Whisper White cardstock, and I'm going to stamp my butterflies in the Soft Sky ink. And what I need to do is I need to stamp the edge of the wing as near the edge of the card as I can. You need to get the top part of the wing near as the top part of the card, and the bottom one needs to be at the bottom part of the card. So you need to stamp 4 of them. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to stamp the bottom one. I love this stamp because it gives a graduated effect. Meant to be like that. And then I'm going to do the top one, and I'm going to slightly tilt the butterfly down on this one, and then I know I've got to fit 2 more butterflies in between here, which means I should be able to fit that one there like that, and then this one I could probably fit this one like that. Then what I'm going to do is stamp the centre section in the Lost Lagoon ink. Just grab a clear block. I was telling one of the ladies at class today that the right size block can make all the difference. If you use the right size block to fit the stamp, it means that you have got so if you use the right size block to fit the stamp, it means you don't have lots of surface area of the block which is going to catch the ink pad, in which case you might catch it, and when you press it down you might pick up a bit of ink. So it's much better to use the right size clear block if you have it, and you'll find that you'll get less accidents and less dinks. So I'm just going over my butterfly, and I'm just stamping the middle detail. And before I do anything else, you've also got inside your pack you've got a piece of vellum. Now I'd like you to cut the vellum to match the shape of the butterfly. I need another butterfly. Now I haven't pre-cut it for you because if you don't have this stamp then the vellum butterflies aren't going to match. So whatever you use at home, you can use different things, but whatever you use, try and find the die cut that matches the shape. And all I want you to do is, whilst this is this may take a little while to dry on the vellum, which is why I'm going to do it now, I'm just going to stamp that middle pattern on the bits of vellum. I'm going to set those aside. Before I do, I'm going to do the body, because I also want that to dry. So the body is just the tiny little piece out of there's 2 bodies in your butterfly set. You just need the little one. I'm just going to stamp that. And then I'm just going to set those aside to dry for a second. Okay. Now I'm going to stamp the body on the card. I think the black adds such a lovely contrast, really makes the card pop. And then you're going to add the little V detail, the little antenna. Where's my scrap? Okay, just put my little antenna back. That's the kind of piece that you could lose super easily. Now we're going to grab the little antenna in the pack, pop that out, put that on my little block, and I'm going to meet the head of the body and just add that. And I am actually going to cut around that. So now what you're going to do is grab your scissors and just cut around the outside piece like so, to give you the edge of the card. Now, you're not going to come past any of the inner pieces, so let me do this as quickly as I can without ruining it. Now I'm going to try not to go too far in, so just going to do a bit of artistic license and not go right onto not going right in here, and just a bit of artistic license around the antenna there. Nearly done. Such a grey day outside today. It's poured almost all day. And it's so grey, I've actually got the light on in here. It's a first when I've been shooting my videos. There. So I've cut around the outside, and then you get a piece of patterned paper in your kit. There's different patterns because I didn't have enough paper to give everyone the same. But basically that's just going to show up, make that pop, make that look really nice. Now what you need to do is grab, I've got a little paper piercing tool here, and I'm just going to, in fact, what I should do first is the sentiment, so let's just do that. I've got just for you, or you're so kind. I'm just going to do just for you. Get that on my clear block. I had a little practice stamping that one. Good job I practiced, wasn't it? now I know where my sentiment is, it's a bit easier for me to do 2 small holes. So you're now going to grab your linen thread and your sequins from your pack, and you're going to feed it through and then back up through the top so that you've got your linen thread poking through the front of the card. Got way more than you need here, but just to make it easier to tie, then you're just going to tie that roughly in the centre of the sequins, tie a bow, bow looking like you would like it to look. Trim off the excess, and then that should hang down and just add a nice little detail. And now we're going to stick this on the inside. Can you see the crease line just here? Try not to stick the paper on top of that, just try and butt up to that, and then you'll find that you may need to trim off the excess. Now I'm going to go right up to the edge like so, but just make sure that you've got a nice even straight line at this edge. This is the more important edge than the inside edge. And like I say, some of you have got different patterns. Some of you can just turn over your pattern and choose your favourite. Stick that in there like that. And if you've got any excess, you just trim that off. You can trim it off with scissors, with a trimmer. Got a nice firm line of cardstock to know where to trim up to, so don't you tell anyone I just use my ribbon scissors for that. That's a sackable offence. So there we are. So that's the card. Now the last thing you need to do is go back to your lovely vellum butterflies, grab your glue dots and a pokey tool, and I just stick a little glue dot in the middle of all my butterflies, ready for my vellum. And then we don't forget we set these aside to make sure that they were dry, so try and be gentle with the ink just in case it hasn't dried. I don't want you to smudge it at this stage, so then you can just lift the petals up. The petals, the wings, I'm sorry. Which gives a nice bit of dimension. And there you go, your card's complete. That was super quick and it's a really nice effect. I hope you enjoyed making that card, and thanks for watching.